welcome to season 2 of My Friend Money right here on moneypuzzle.in. In this season, we are talking to people who've had the courage to follow their passion and now bask in the freedom of their creative agendas. Today, we are talking to somebody who is a celebrated TV personality, an actor, a food writer, and an author. He is as well known for hosting his own food show as he is for his friendship with Cyrus Brocha as a co-host on The Week That Wasn't. Kunal Vijayekar. Kunal Vijayekar, thank you so much for joining us on My Friend Money.
You know, when you first asked me to do this, I don't know why I'm the right candidate because I have no knowledge of anything financial whatsoever. So I hope your interview goes well. That's all I can wish you.
That is why you're the right candidate because you have knowledge of what you do and we want that knowledge and we want to know where money fits into this whole game, if at all.
Okay, shoot away.
So Kunal, let's start at the beginning. So as we had spoken earlier, this is about some esoteric concepts about your relationship with money and how your money journey has been. But let's start at the beginning. And you've always had a penchant for the arts, and no surprises, you went into the advertising line. And then at some point decided to switch to being a performer, a freelancer. How was that switch? How did it make you feel in all aspects?
Perchance is the right word. I did not start off life saying I'm going to go into advertising.
Right.
I started off life trying to aim for something higher than that, which is architecture, which is like a noble profession, hotel management, which is another huge degree, and but I couldn't I didn't have enough marks to get into either of those courses.
Didn't try hard enough.
Didn't try hard enough. Ducked a few exams here and there. So I landed up literally at the JJ School of Art in the Applied Art course, and hence I got into advertising. And then
but that was a secure job, no? You had a salary coming.
Yes, but we all come from middle class families, and while there was a little kida of acting right from the school days, college days, one never had the guts to take up acting as a full-time profession because it's an uncertain profession.
Yeah.
And unless you have, there are braver people than I am.
Right.
I always say, like a good middle-class fellow, you figure out where your money is coming from, and then you do your passion.
But you did make the switch.
But that is much later on in life when I saw the money.
Okay.
So
you had some comfort.
Yeah, because for most actors who are struggling and have no background, father, mother, in the field, your first salary money, you don't know where it's going to come from. Who's going to give you an assignment? Where are you going to get your first play?
Right.
First play will pay 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 50 rupees, in that time.
And have you done those 30, 40?
Oh, yeah. So, no, not 30, 40, a little more. 75.
75, that makes the difference.
So the first play I did was paid me 75 rupees.
Yeah.
But you never did that for money. I was already had a salary, so it was easy to say, okay, we can do that.
But tell me something. So when you made this switch, you were already comfortable. You had some savings kept, and you thought, "Ki chalega, I can take the plunge."
No, I had no savings because I don't have a great attachment to money.
Right.
And when you're as a young, there are different kind of young people. Okay, as a young boy, when I got my first salary, and then subsequently in advertising, because of the nature of the business itself, you start earning a lot of money when you're very young.
Right.
Suddenly if you're good, you don't need to in an otherwise corporate structure how your promotion will come only after X amount of years. Over here, if you're good, within the first year you doubled my salary. The third year I had my salary tripled. I got a company car.
Wow.
And so you're young and you suddenly see all this liquidity in front of you or just money in front of you, and then you want to have a good life. So you spend. So there was no great saving at that point. I was still enjoying life. I was still discovering that, I don't have to ask my parents for money anymore.
Yeah. So when you did switch, what was the thought? Were you just following what came, your passion, or did you think, let me put some aside? What did you, what was the comfort that made you
see, I'd still not put any money aside, to be honest. And I didn't think I needed to put money aside because I put years and years of work ahead of me. Come on, a 23 or 24-year-old boy not start good at theatre. Today I think I would advise everybody to do that. So, my luck was that the organization I worked for, which was an advertising agency called Tipunas, which was the leading advertising agency in those days,
Yeah.
had a very strong theatre culture.
Nice.
Because the chairman of the company,
Yeah.
Sylvester Tipuna, was a theatre veteran.
Yeah.
Then there was Bharat Damolkar working for the same organization. And I was a trainee. There was theatre happening around. In the evening, nobody worked overtime. Everybody went for rehearsals. And then, so that kida of regularly acting, on stage,
But,
gets, and then offers come. Television was starting up in a big
nice.
way.
Yeah.
Zee TV was in its
Good cable
prime.
TV boom was
Prime. And the money was much better than which it isn't today.
Oh,
but it
is
was
it?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Unless you're Kapil Sharma, or Amitabh Bachchan or something.
Of course.
So I made the plunge and I got tired of advertising. 11 years of advertising, I got tired. In a business like advertising, the more senior you become, the more time you need to spend with clients,
Non-creative things.
not creative things.
Which didn't
And
go
I-
your way. That's what I'm
I
saying,
can't
that
do
you
that.
made those choices. No,
Yeah.
when it wasn't working, your creative juices, you said, this is not, let me try my hand at something which does get me. So I think you have to, when you're following something that you really want to do.
But I
you
was
have
lucky
follow.
to have that second thing happening.
Yes, you were lucky.
So I didn't have to start looking for a new thing.
Yeah. You have
ये भी कर रहा हूँ, ये भी कर रहा हूँ, अभी ये ज़्यादा करूँ या ये कम करूँ,
Transition was smooth.
Yeah, smooth. So from a full day in advertising, I went to half day. The company was kind enough because I had an emotional bond with the company
Right.
and with the chairman. He allowed me to do certain things and get away with it. And he allowed me finally to leave and move on.
Yeah. So the thing is that, while you were living your life and, doing the things that really got you going, you also managed to buy a house
Oh yeah.
quite early, I
So,
must say.
yeah. Well, it's the reason is because I'm a snob. So I grew up at Chowpatty, Marine Drive, and then I lived at Bridge Candy most of my life.
Right.
Bridge Candy was my father's company apartment. He was retiring.
Right.
So his own house was in Juhu.
Okay.
And there was no way I was moving to Juhu because I'd grown up in this side of town.
Wow.
In South Mumbai. So luckily, I had, my mother had invested in a really small apartment some donkeys years ago in Bandra,
Okay.
which was there, small one-bedroom thing. And I had made a substantial amount of money doing television.
Okay.
I did a TV series, I did all that kind of stuff. And I got a little money from, we sold that Bandra flat. And I bought it much closer into town, the Prabhadevi Worli, and a larger flat. So with the money from that small flat, which helped,
Yes.
whatever I saved, I
Whatever
had
you
saved,
you had to put in.
I put.
Yeah.
Listen, and no loan, no financing,
Yes.
because
That's a big decision that went
No, I
right.
don't know what it is, but for me, the idea of borrowing money from anybody was just never an option. Do not borrow. Do what you can within your own means. So maybe it's not correct financial planning, but I'd rather emotionally, psychologically not take any finance from anybody for any reason.
I think it's financial planning is what works for you. So if this is what gives you a good night's sleep and not having
Good night's sleep, most important.
Yes. So if this is what works for you in that sense, then it's great, and it also gives you freedom. Not having loans, I think, gives you freedom to choose what you want to do professionally also, because you don't have the baggage of having to pay off EMIs, especially a housing loan is like
It's a never-ending story. It goes on forever.
huge baggage to carry.
So even my house, my flat, it's a good 900 square foot, 900,000 square foot flat, 2-bedroom in an old building in Brawali.
Yeah.
And there has been great temptation as these new things have sprung up
Have you seen
everywhere.
the lobbies? They are
Yeah.
just so inviting.
So I also at one point said, look, it's not like I can't afford it. Maybe I sell this off, put in a little money, take a little bit of finance, and then upgrade your life.
If you're not really upgrading, you are living the same life. It's just that you're going to a different house to sleep.
Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
If you have family, no, I'm single. Okay, I don't have any children. So if you've got children, you can say, okay, for my children to go down and play, we need a larger house, or 2 children, I need an extra bedroom now. That's all different. But for me, it's convenient. The flat is really well appointed. Why? Yeah, that your money is working better somewhere else, and then you can use that money. Whereas this money is of no use to you. It's of use to somebody else when you die. So what? To hell with other people.
Yeah, to hell with other people. But you're talking about money so confidently that it's very encouraging. It seems that you've had some good input, some people were giving you the right advice, and a little bit of luck.
I'm sure. I go with the gut feel that the person who's advising me is giving me the right advice. A lot of people who may have larger families, may have a wife who they can depend on completely, who looks at the finances,
or the budgeting,
manages the money. Some people may have a father who does it.
Yeah.
Till my mother passed away 3 years ago, my mother used to do it. My mother managed everything.
Yeah.
I didn't even sign a single check.
Now you know how to sign a check.
Now I know how to sign a check.
That's great, because a lot of people actually don't know that. And I struggle every time I have to write out a check. I'm thinking, have I put this in the right place? I don't know what it is about writing a check.
And because I make mistakes with numbers, I'll end up using 3 checks to write 1 check. Oh shit, mistake. Date is wrong. So the figure is wrong, and I've written something else over there. So besides my signature, everything else is wrong.
Everyone has a point in their lives where we all start working, when we start living, and we just do things which we want to do. We spend our money, or we gift people, and there's a sense of freedom because you're earning and you are in charge of your life. But there comes a point in time when one realizes that you're not so much in charge. There is there are other factors. There's health, for example, and that's where money starts to become
lesser and lesser. Of course. So I had an car accident about 2004, but that's when I realized that I didn't have enough liquidity. I know money was coming in and the salary was coming in, and a good fat salary was coming in, but at that point of time when I needed money, because I was in a hospital needing surgery, I did not have that much money in my bank account. So I quickly called up my colleague, my partner and friend, and I asked her, I said, look, can you send me some money? So she sent me the money quite happily. When I got out of that surgery and all that, I said, shit, if at any given point I do not have even, what the hell have I been doing? Because I'm earning a good amount of money. That means I'm blowing it up somewhere. I'm not putting it away properly.
Consciously thinking.
Yeah, there are some FDs somewhere that have happened. Some LIC agent has come and told you long term ke liye dalo, tax benefit bhi milega, or you will be insured. Plus, when the LIC policy matures, this is what you will get. And also, I had these very unplanned, sort of amateurishly, ad hoc, literally ad hoc. So at that point of time, I called up my friend and financial advisor Ravi, and he said, do some SIPs. I have no idea what an SIP is. So he said, you start small now, 2,000 rupees a month, 2,500. So actually, suppose I said you need to save 50% of your salary, hypothetically, okay? It's a lot of money. Yeah. But he said, if you give me 2,500 rupees, 2,000 rupees dena mahine ka, we'll do SIPs. We started doing SIPs also. At the same time, I started putting money away in FDs, normal bank FD. So I had, by which time, in a few years, I had then grown my FD portfolio.
Just like a cushion for you.
Cushion, I still have, so even today, after all your whatever financial instruments one uses, there is always a fixed deposit which is at a high tax rate, giving you very low interest.
Yeah, you know everything, don't you?
Basics, and it's not that I know anything. And then at one point, I was having a conversation with Ravi, and he said, so what are you doing with the rest of your money? He said, I'm putting it in FDs. He said, but don't you want your money to work for you? FDs are fine. He says, instead of putting everything in an FD, and I had now become into a little conjuice, okay? So, jo mila, put it away.
You see it growing, you feel
not even you see it growing. You know it's safe. You know it's put away. There's some compulsorily your money goes somewhere. Instead of going out of your pocket, it goes into something. He gave me 2 or 3 ideas what to do with it. And remember, those are the times the markets were really down.
Okay.
Markets had crashed. Okay.
Scary time.
Scary times. He said, this is the time to invest. If you have a regular income
Yeah.
and your income is not market dependent. So I was at that point putting away nearly 60% of my salary or 60% of my earnings
Wow.
into savings. It helps that I'm a single man with very few expenses.
Yes.
If you have children, and as you will have to send children abroad and to schools,
Don't
which
remind
cost
me
you
all
5
this.
lakhs and 7 lakhs a year fee, it may be a little different. Okay,
Very
but,
different, but yeah.
yeah, but so I thought about it. I don't need to spend this money.
Very smart.
So-
very smart decisions you take.
But as life goes on, and I will tell the camera this, every penny you save is still less for you. Because when you decide, suddenly figure out what you're going to earn when you're old, it's never enough.
You know, whenever I talk to people like you who are like completely engrossed in what they do and so passionate about it, it's always a good feeling. And I always hear ki, you know, we don't want money, we don't like money, but take it. Everybody has a,
Who says this? We don't like money.
like in the sense as long as it comes and you spend.
Please don't be mistaken. I like money. I like to be paid for everything I do. I land up doing a lot of free work, not charity. I mean, charity is another thing. But this is like, karke do. But I believe that it's only when you pay people for your work do you get good work. I think
right. Yes.
everything has, that's why life is about value.
Yeah.
Unless there's value put to it, you will not get the best from out of people. I believe in paying people, so my little meager staff also,
Yeah.
I will pay them well, I will not, because I want them to deliver their best.
Yeah.
So, and I would also like to be paid. No free work.
No free work. Of
No.
course not. But let me ask you one last arcane question. How would you categorize your relationship with money? Positive, negative, indifferent? And what's your biggest fear as far as...
So let's start with the fear first.
Yeah.
The fear is that you will run out of money. Okay, however
We
much.
all fear that,
Yeah.
you know, that it'll be short for what we need.
Absolutely, that is the fear. My financial people have assured me
Right.
that there's no need to be frightened, but I still fear. Because
Yeah.
whatever it seems always less. Inflation catches up with you. Things that you have not planned for happen.
Yeah.
So there's a fear. Unless you've got so much money that you don't.
You know, people like us, we come from a middle class background, like you
Working,
said, and
yeah,
so
professionals,
that
you know.
insecurity doesn't go away so easy.
So that is the fear. That's the only fear.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough money to live. I'm not saying enough money to blow up. You just
Right.
want enough so that you know. Look, if somebody falls ill today, okay, a full-time attendant is going to cost you 30,000 rupees a month, approximately today. Not the model will cost you.
Yeah, today's.
Yeah, that's only your attendant.
Yeah.
It's definitely not indifferent.
Yeah.
But I cannot, I don't have a great love
Right.
for.
So means to an end, perhaps.
It is purely a means to living a life.
Yeah. But I think that comes from the fact that even where your professional life is concerned, you've taken conscious decisions, you've made a choice consciously knowing which direction you want to head in. And you followed that, and
Okay, let me
it comes.
put it this way, okay, to end it all, and this is what I consider. Okay, I consider myself extremely lucky. Somebody up there has liked me on various occasions in my life, and as I seriously think the decisions I have taken, although they're very conscious, were things that were available to me. They were there, just waiting for it to be taken. And you can sometimes see an opportunity and not take it. And I've managed to, but somebody has put those opportunities in front of me. So the credit doesn't go completely to me, it goes to a certain amount of destiny
Yeah, everybody has
and luck. I still say I'm lucky. I'm a lucky man.
with the courage to take the opportunities that come your way. Thank you so much, Kunal, for having this chat with us and sharing, all your life's journey, your insecurities and everything on camera with us. Thank you so much for joining us on My Friend Money.
Thank you. Now, money, you're giving me enough money?
Yes. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks a lot for watching My Friend Money with Kunal Vijayakar. Stay tuned to moneypuzzle.in for more such conversations around your money relationship.